With the fear of these teachers losing their jobs and therefore not doing what they should be doing, let us turn now and take a look at some challenges that Pakistani education faces today. Pakistani education sector faces massive challenges today in the 21st century. We will only take a look at a few of these challenges. Challenge number one is low level of literacy. Pakistan has one of the lowest literacy rates with high gender disparity in the region. It is currently 51.6%, with the males being 63.7% and the female a despairing 39.2%. So, with low literacy rates, that's a challenge for Pakistan. How is Pakistan going to get to that 100% literacy rate? It's a massive challenge that Pakistani society faces and Pakistani education system faces. We've been 65 years into independence, and with this dismal rate, many nations that have become independent after us have higher literacy rates. It's a massive challenge and something that seriously needs to be considered soon. The wide inter- and intra-provincial disparities present a discriminating scenario, especially since the federal ministry has been devolved into the provincial ministries of education. The different provinces doing things differently also brings about discrimination. Certain provinces tend to be doing better, certain provinces don't do better or can't do better because of the even lower literacy rates in some of those provincial areas. Therefore, with the provinces doing things on their own, the challenge of discrimination becomes wider for the same child who is supposedly Pakistani. Challenge 2. Access to basic education. Basic education is primary education. Do our children have an equal access to basic education? Gross enrollment in primary schools is 85%. Girls are less enrolled than boys, but the gender differentials are greater in rural areas. 85% to me is high. I think there are fewer children going to schools. Also, I think the gender disparity, the number of boys versus the number of girls going to schools, even for a basic education, is pretty low. And unless this disparity is bridged, unless we can have 100% of our boys and 100% of our girls going to schools regularly, getting a basic education, and then continuing on with secondary and higher education, things may not change dramatically for Pakistan. That's a challenge. When all our children do not have an equal access to basic education, it is a challenge now for the provincial governments. How do you make sure that children in your province, all children in your province, have access to a basic education and are actually taking advantage of that access? Because having access and children not going is another story. So having access and making sure that children go is the answer to the story. Some major factors for low enrollment are poverty, because many of these rural populations are poor. Their boys and girls have to work in the fields. They make a little more money that way, so why worry about an education? Long distance from school. Their homes and schools are a large distance apart, and a lot of parents would not send their young girls alone, or even in groups for that matter, crossing long distances to get to a school twice a day. Poor physical infrastructure. If the school exists, where is the building? If the building exists, where is the furniture? If the furniture is there, where are the teaching materials, and so on and so forth? The infrastructure needs to be there. Traditional hostility to female education, because men don't want girls to be educated. Girls are meant to be married off when they come of age, and they are somebody else's responsibility. Why should we spend our money on educating someone who's going to leave our family and go away? hasn't changed. That mindset still exists to a large degree, especially in the rural areas. Functional problems. Schools are there. Functionality. How many teachers? How many individuals? How many students? What are the materials there? That is an issue and not related to the market demand. What does the market want and what are we producing? The market wants skilled individuals who are able to deliver in the job market. This our schools are not providing.